Welcome to the Paul Chandler Show, everyone. I'm your host, Paul Chandler. In tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the AAPC's Apprentice designation, because it can be confusing with the AAPC, how they have their CPC, their Certified Professional Coder Credentialing Exam, and how they also then have that separate designation, apprenticeship status. It's different compared to a HIPAA, where they have the CPC-A credential, the Certified Coding Associate, and the CPC-S credential, the Certified Coding Specialist. So again, so tonight's episode, we're going to be comparing the two between the AAPC and the HIPAA, and also going a little bit more in depth on what that apprenticeship designation is with the AAPC and how to have it removed as well. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Welcome to the Remove Your A, the Apprentice status with the AAPC. Now, on the AAPC's website, they have the necessary information for new coders to remove the -A after you earn your CPC, the Certified Professional Coder Credential, or the COC, the Certified Outpatient Coder Credential. If you go to aapc.com/apprentice, or if you simply just Google AAPC Remove A, then you should end up on the Apprentice Removal on the Job Experience. Now, there's two different ways on how you can have the A, or I should say the -A, removed after the CPC or the COC credential, without simply just running out the clock and waiting 2 years after your exam date. As the AAPC website shows, that you can submit proof completing 8 hours, that's 80 hours of coding preparation education, and also 1 year of job experience from your employer. Now, that 80 hours of education, that can be from several different education options. So when you are looking toward your CPC education, one good thing to inquire on is, does that class, no matter if it's a boot camp, some type of 12-week program, or maybe like a hybrid 6-week program, or on demand only, whatever type of option you're going through. And a good question to ask is, does this meet the requirements for 80 contact hours of education? So that way then that can remove 1 out of the 2 years. If the education that you're receiving does meet that requirement, then the education provider should be able to provide some type of certificate of completion or some type of letter on their letterhead stating that you've completed at least 80 contact hours of education. Now then, with that 80 hours, that will remove 1 year of the 2-year requirements to remove the apprenticeship. The other year can come from your employer as far as work experience. Now, the AAPC's website does have the template, and if you're on the Remove the A, then right there, under the blue header where it says Apprentice Removal Template, you can click on that, and then the removal template will appear, and this is a PDF. And you can see here that it is a fillable PDF by typing in the information, and then it just needs to be printed on your company letterhead. So of course, every type of coder, no matter when you're taking certification, does have different experience. So if you only have at least 1 year of work experience with using the CPT, ICD-10-CM, and HIPAA codes, then this would still work for removing 1 out of the 2 years. Like I just mentioned earlier, in that 80 hours, again, that's 80 hours of education would match for the other year. So simply just the date, your ID number, your member name, the company that you work with, the date, and also the member name as well. And then your manager supervisor would type in this open text field, their current responsibilities and their contact information. So if there's any questions, then they can be able to reach out to your manager or supervisor. So yes, the CPC or the COC examinee they can either write out their 2 years, simply wait after 2 years from their exam date to have the A removed automatically, or if they have at least 1 year of work experience working with those codes, and then they can have the 80 hours of contact education, then that would match for 2 years with the 1 year work experience, and then 80 hours of the education would match for the other year. Now, it does say, too, that allow 2 to 4 weeks for processing. However, with that 2 to 4 weeks, you are able to submit the documentation before you sit for the exam. Once you have your membership ID number, no matter how long it is from your membership enrollment to your exam date, you are able to submit the necessary information, either the education certificate, or if you have that done already, or the 1 year work experience. Well, let's just say you have the 1 year work experience and you're just beginning your education, then you can still submit the 1 year work experience, and then they will receive that and they'll simply attach it to your account. And then whenever your education is done, then you can have that certificate of completion sent in, and that would also be added to your account to remove the A. Or if you already have the 2 years work experience, then that can be submitted as well. So then once you pass the CPC or the COC, you'll automatically not have the -A after it. You'll simply just be a CPC or COC. Now then, they also do have, as far as 1 year of coding experience, say, for example, you don't have the work experience, you can do the 80 hours of contact education, but then AAPC does offer information at the bottom of the remove the A page, does have information on the Practicode. That is a program that AAPC has created and powered by Avia Code. So if you click on the sign up, then it'll take you to the Practicode page. But before I go to that page, I simply do want to show you that at the bottom of the remove the A page on the AAPC website, it does have their email where you would send in all the necessary documentation. Apprentice removals at aapc.com. So then with the Practicode program, if you, at the bottom of the Apprentice page, click on sign up, then it'll take you over to the Practicode options. And they do have 2 different options if you are going for the CPC or the COC exam. And with that, of course, you already have your membership. You can purchase each of the practicums separately. There's 3 practicum modules for the CPC, and there's 3 modules for the COC. And currently, as of this recording, you can purchase each of them individually, or after you're a member of AAPC, you can purchase all 3 together in a bundle and say $51, because $51, that goes pretty far. Because, for example, if you know me personally or through online, I'm a Mountain Dew enthusiast. That's what we call Mountain Dew addicts, because we don't like to call ourselves addicts because that just sounds, that's just a bad word. So we're call ourselves Mountain Dew enthusiasts. And I love the Mountain Dew Kickstart flavor pineapple orange mango, and gives you the right amount of kick of caffeine, and it's 10% juice, so you know it's got to be healthy because, again, 10% juice. That can, $51, that can get about 4.5 cases of my Kickstart, so that's a pretty good deal at anything that I can do to put my Mountain Dew Kickstart fund. So either one, you can do the options of the CPC or the COC, and they even do have the option, you can do the monthly payments with Affirm as low as $23. So that is another option that you can do if you have less than 2 years experience to get one of the 2 years removed from the requirements to be able to remove your A. So the several options that we have to remove the A status would be the 2 years work experience, that will remove it automatically. You can have 80 hours, again, that's 80 hours of education, and that would constitute as 1 year of work experience. You also have 1 year work experience, and if you'd like, you can also purchase separately the Practicode program. With the membership, again, it's either $249 for the CPC or the COC, depending which route you're going. And I usually do want to say a disclaimer that here at the Paul Chandler Show, We're not providing this information for any sales purposes. It is strictly just for informational purposes as how a new coder can remove the apprentice status from their CPC or COC certification. And that's one thing though, if you do go the Practicode route, on the Practicode page, this little picture here over on the right side is actually an image. It's a PDF. So I'm looking at it on a large screen, and those letters are even quite small, even for me with my glasses on. So if you click on that image, then it comes up on a full page. Common mistakes to avoid as a Practicode student. I would review this because this, for example, covers assuming Practicode will be easy, ignoring Practicode's technical requirements as far as computers and internet and have that connection, not creating a dedicated study space, procrastination on starting and completing Practicode, believing you're on your own, thinking you'll get away with cheating, and losing motivation. So those different topics, those 7 different topics are covered as far as the common mistakes to avoid as a Practicode student. I would review those as well. So again, just to recap, that if you simply just Google search AAPC, remove A, then the first page view after if there's any advertisements on your search results should be this page. You can also simply go to aapc.com/apprentice, and this will have, again, all the recap information for the multiple different ways how you can remove the A, the apprentice designation, after the CPC or COC credential. And just like always, if you have any questions, then you can also shoot me an email. And my email address here on the show is paul@thepaulchandlershow.com. Again, that's PAUL@THEPAULCHANDLERSHOW.com.
Thank you for watching that education on the apprentice designation with the AAPC for their Certified Professional Coder or their CPC exam. I hope that you learned what you need to do to remove the A, and that way then you can continue your medical coding career. I do thank you for watching this episode of the Paul Chandler Show, and have an awesome rest of your day.